Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. I know a couple of you guys have been waiting to hear from us about that Saints game. I mean, that was an ugly game, Nick. Raiders got dominated.
Yeah.
Didn't even get past the 50 with the starters. It was ugly. And, man, there's not a lot to say after that one.
Yeah, it was just very disappointing. West Coast time, we wake up hella early, getting ready to watch our Raiders play. And, really nothing happened, no effort. And it's not like even you competed. You just went out there, went through the motions. At least with our other losses, we were close. We were in the ball game to where, we sat there and said, hey, we're in the ball game, and it just seemed like we were never in this ball game. We're always out of it. Took a major step back. And this is just one of those, we got our butts whooped. We got dominated in every aspect of the game. And it was a really, really eye-opening moment. Like, what are we? Because, in these losses, we were very close and we could have won. And now you sit here and, we always talked about we didn't get our butt whooped. We got our butt whooped. And it was a major step backwards. And it was just very disappointing.
Yeah, there was no positive to take away from that game. And we were going to come on and talk, but kind of got busy, but we probably would have found time if the Raiders put a better effort, but it was just bad effort all around.
Yeah.
I think everyone played bad. I thought coaching was bad, and, we didn't get past 50.
Yeah, no, it kind of seemed no one wanted to play, and, even though he kind of, Max Crosby was still the only one, third quarter, early fourth, still running around, jumping over people, trying to make tackles, trying to make something happen, but just really no effort. You just went out there, went through the motions, and really didn't compete.
Yeah, that was ugly. That hurt a lot of Raider fans' feelings, hurt our feelings, and that one sucked. That one sucked really bad. And that being said, no expectations going into this game. Raiders versus Jaguars game preview. Welcome. The Raiders are 2-5. Jaguars are 2-6. Yeah. Both struggling teams. Both teams that struggle to finish in games. Man, it's just going to be – I think it's going to be a battle. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a career day because everyone seems to have a career day against the Raiders. Yeah. They got a bunch of good talent. Zay Jones is probably going to go off.
Yeah.
It's just going to be they got Josh Allen on defense.
Christian Kirk.
He's
probably going to live up to his contract. His contract this game.
Yeah, and man, it's just going to be a battle. It's going to be a tough game.
I think so. I think it's going to be a really close one, and it's going to be who wants it more, and it sucks. We sit here and I look at this roster. We are not a 2-5 roster. We're not a 3 games under 500 roster. I know we're kind of late into the season, in the second half of the season, but here we stand here. We can't finish games. We get dominated, and nothing is just going right. And you just hope that you put together a good game, and the results will speak for itself at the end. But we need everybody committed.
Okay, now let's just go through a rundown of some of our bigger players and how they need to come back this week, and just try to get us to a situation where we're 5-5 and everyone's pumped up. Yeah. Everyone has the expectations again to win. Right now we're 2-5. It looks ugly. I mean, we lose. We're starting to look at draft boards. Yeah, and this show's going to be us starting to look at players for the draft. Maybe even looking for new quarterbacks, new wide receivers, new offensive line, defensive line. It's going to get ugly if we lose this game. So it's a must win. Need to win it if you just want a shot at this thing. If you want to sneak in, and I don't think we need a great record to sneak in the playoffs this year because a lot of people are losing. Yeah, but we're 2-5, so how can we talk? And you're
2-5. You can't really talk about playoffs. I think you're more on the side of, just like you said, we're more on the side of draft picks and draft everything. Right now I'm on draft boards where we pick top 10. I think even maybe top 5, maybe. And on all the power rankings we're in that 28, 29. Even one guy had us at 30 range. And it sucks. We seriously thought that this is going to be it. We talked about this huge stretch going into December, and then you just take a major downfall against the Saints. But if you want to keep this thing going, you've got to win. This is an AFC opponent. This with all the tiebreakers and stuff, just like you just said, you don't need a great record to sneak into the playoffs. And now
10-7 might get you in.
Yeah, and now it seems like instead of us controlling our own destiny, hey, we're going to do this. We thought it was a for sure kind of lock. Me and you thought it was kind of for sure. Now it's you're playing catch up, and just like kind of last year, we have to sneak into this thing, and it starts tomorrow. And I'm tired because every week it starts Sunday. It starts Sunday. But if you really want this thing, and I think this is a bounce back game for everybody because no one played good at all last Sunday. It starts tomorrow.
Yeah, and I want to talk about a point that we talked about personally. The Raiders coming out of the bye, we expected a lot out of them. We expected them to come out different because the way they ended, their first part, beating the Broncos, having a great game against the Chiefs. And since then, the Raiders have only played 2 good quarters of football, 6 terrible quarters of football. Yeah.
I'm going to say that out of the 8 quarters, we played 2 great quarters.
2 great quarters
and I think 2 great dominating quarters, because you look at that Texans game, it was you can kind of say it was an 18-point game. It was a butt whooping. But, 2 quarters leading before that, they're running the ball on us, doing whatever they could, and offense just wasn't clicking. Then, we fix it, and then in that Saints game, nothing was just going right. So I mean, you're right. We out of the 8 quarters, you only played 2 really great, really dominating. We just need that sense of urgency of, hey, who wants it? I bet DC's tired of everybody. This isn't the franchise quarterback. This isn't a playoff quarterback. This isn't this. Devontae left a kind of good situation where there were always playoff locks, in Green Bay to come over here, and this is happening, and McDaniels shot a redemption from what happened at Denver, and it just seems like nothing is going right. And you sit here, is it the system? Is it the quarterback? Is it the coaching? What is it? And we sit here on 2-5, and
it's a mix of everything.
Yeah, and
it's a mix of everything.
I think it's a mix of everything, and we had this kind of same exact talk last year after the Chief game. What is it? We just got our butts whooped. Season looks lost. What is it? And then they went on a 4-game run.
The thing about last year was different. The Chiefs are a really good football team.
You're right.
If we get dominated by the Chiefs or, lose by 14 or something to the Chiefs 21, then you're like, okay, Chiefs are a really great football team. If we make mistakes, the Chiefs are going to beat us like that.
And that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, against a team like the Saints.
Where you were favored.
Don't get me wrong, you're playing in New Orleans. You're playing in the Superdome. We talked about it. It's tough to play there. Very tough to play there. And no team can just go in there and just win. But to get dominated the way we did with the talent we have, with them throwing their backup quarterback out there at the beginning of the season, and Andy Dalton, to just dominate us and rip us apart. Andy Dalton looked like Joe Montana.
Yeah, and their 2 wide receivers were out.
Yeah. And then Kamara hasn't played really good all year. Looked like Walter Payton.
Yeah, I didn't realize on the pregame show
every week. Yeah, Mills for the Texans looked like Joe Montana the first half. And it's just every week. And I saw a Jaguar interview with Trevor Lawrence, and he's talking like, I haven't stood up to expectations pretty much, but I'm coming out. Next time I'm coming out. And he's already has that attitude, and you're playing the Raiders. Man, this is a bad mix for the Raiders because it seems like everyone has their career day against the Raiders right now. Yeah. And that is, that's because of Patrick Graham and this defense. Yeah. And that's because the scheme of this defense is why people are able to have career days.
Yeah, and it just seems like everybody has either a career day, no matter if you're quarterback, wide receiver, running back. We always say it on the show, it's Raider week. It's your week. Go out and go show out. And everybody seems like they're excited to play us. And, once they do play us, you hear a lot, well, this is the first time he's thrown for this, or this is the first time he's done this, or for the first time in NFL history, it's this. And it's, we can't come in with somebody having a bad situation or whatever and take advantage of it. It's always a disadvantage to us whenever someone has, and it's crazy. I look back 3-4 years ago at that Niner game, they started their 4th quarterback on the depth chart. He came out and put a butt whipping on us, like 34-3, and it's just like, that's a situation where you need your full strength. You're good. I know that was 3 or 4 years ago, but there's been times after.
There's times where there's a quarterback injured, like the starting quarterback for the team, and me and you come on the show, we're like, oh, they have, I'll just do, for example, say there's a team and Mariota's the backup. I know Mariota's the starter, but Mariota's the backup. You're like, oh, I'd rather face a starter.
Yeah,
because of the way the Raider defense is.
The way we are,
the way we are, the way we've been for so many years, and how is this going to change? Because we're looking, I mean, Gus Bradley's defense at least had a solid all year long, and there weren't people open by 10, 15, 20 yards, just like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Quarterback has all day to sit back and throw it also. This year, it's bad. It's really ugly, and that has to do with Patrick Graham's defense, the defensive scheme, and execution on the players' part as well. We got to blame everyone on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
And then, last week we lost 24-0, right?
Yeah.
24-0. And people can blame the defense all they want. But
you got to score to win games.
First of all, you got to score to win.
Yeah.
Second off, the Saints got the ball in our territory twice. That's an easy 14 points for them, especially the way they're.
Oh, yeah.
So as much as it's the defense's fault, it's, Coach McDaniel's fault and the Raider offense.
Yeah. And I think, there's some times where, and there hasn't been a game like this where we sat there and scored a whole bunch of points and lost in a shootout. That hasn't happened, But I think the Kansas City game is kind of the only one where you say, well, offense didn't kind of lose this game. They put up almost close to 30, and it just weird stuff happened or whatever. But you're right. You got to score to win games. You got to stay out there a little bit longer, and it just seems like it was a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of punts, and you were just, hey, defense, go stop them, go stop them, go stop them.
The offense is putting the defense in a bad situation already, and the defense is already tough. Like, they're already struggling.
Yeah.
And then, for the offense, they're struggling also. And let's dive into this Raider offense first, and kind of like what they need to do this game, especially bouncing back from last game. Derek Carr. We'll start with Derek Carr, the quarterback, captain of this team. First half, I thought he played horrible. I mean, he played horrible in that Saints game. Missing throws, inaccurate. That can't happen again the rest of the year. He can't be inaccurate. I mean, he's been accurate. Like the Charger game, he was inaccurate. And I get it if you're inaccurate once every year, one time a year, maybe twice a year. But it's not.
And then he used them.
Yeah, but it's not like you're a pitcher in baseball where sometimes you just don't have it. Quarterback, you're supposed to have it every time you throw. So Carr can't do that anymore. And in that first half, he was absolutely horrible. Second half, I didn't think he had a chance because the offensive line was so bad.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. But DC, what do you want to see from him today or in this game tomorrow? And he needs to have a big game for us to have confidence in him.
And I think his big games are go out there and spread the ball around. And Devontae didn't have a catch until like third quarter. You only targeted him like 3 times leading up to that. Get him going early. Get Renfro going. Renfro hasn't been the same Renfro that we've seen these past 2 or 3 years. Get everybody going. Matt Collins is a dependable receiver. Get everybody going. Spread the ball around. That's when DC's at his best. And that's where you see his completion percentage up. That's where you see, him just going deep and having a really good field day against these defenses. He needs to sit there, be confident, and just spread the ball around and do him. I think when someone says, what's the best thing about DC? He spreads the ball around. He's really throw it here, throw it here, throw it here. And, and then the stats speak for itself. Then you see, like I said, the completion percentage up, touchdowns are going to be there, yards are going to be there. And then you look up and, man, he's already at 3-something, almost 400, and 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. And I think that's what he needs to do. And, our superstar is him and Devontae. Get Devontae the ball and get the ball to him early. You can't sit there and try to, hey, let's have a lead. Okay, now let's throw to him in the second, third quarter. No, he's a superstar. You pay him all this money to go get those catches, to go dominate defenses. Get him the ball.
Yeah. Derek Carr, I think he needs to play good, or else, we're going to have a top draft pick, and I'm guessing we're probably going to pick a quarterback. Maybe. Because Carr's been the quarterback for so long.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a point, no matter how much you love him, that, you got to move on. You got to move on. And he needs to play good if he wants to be this Raider quarterback for a long time. And, if he doesn't play well, the Raiders are going to draft a quarterback. Carr's going to play for another year, and he better win a Super Bowl, or else that quarterback and then the learning from him is going to be the quarterback.
And the question is, because I, to be honest with you, I think this whole team's going to, no matter what happens this year, stay to next year. But midseason next year, no matter what, that's when you start looking at, okay, you're already a year and a half in the system, almost 2 years. You had 2 full training camps, 2 full this, 2 full that. If it clicks, then we're good. If it isn't clicking, then that's where you start looking at, this isn't the guy for the job. This isn't the guy for the job. This isn't the guy for the job. Or should I say system? This isn't, and start bringing some people.
Talking about Derek Carr.
No, we're just talking about
We're talking about Josh McDaniels.
And maybe
we're talking about Patrick Graham.
Yeah.
We're talking about this makeshift offensive line we have.
And even the guys that they brought in, Chandler Jones,
for sure.
Our corners and everything. They did a stat the other day. Chandler Jones has a half a sack, I think a couple tackles for losses. Then they brought up Unique's numbers. And even though they're small, still I think 4 or 5 sacks.
At least he has something.
Yeah.
At least he has something.
3, if he has 4 or 5 sacks, I think like 6 or 7 tackles for losses or whatever. At least it's something.
Chandler Jones has a half a sack.
Yeah, and then you kind of look at Rock's numbers, because that was the trade. And, decent, but I still think we need 2 guys for a pass rush in this league. Not only in this league, in our division also.
We go in that Saints game, right? Kamara's running all over us in the middle, and who do we trade the week before? Hankins, our run stuffer. It's all bad right now, and the only way you can gain confidence in Raider fans is get a win against Jacksonville. You're 3-5, and the confidence ain't back by any means. Mm-hmm. They need to get another win against Colts.
Yeah,
right? Against the Colts, and then you need to go 5-5.
Yeah,
if you go 5-5, then everyone's like, okay. We're not going to get too crazy, but okay. They might be doing something here in Las Vegas, but it starts here in Jacksonville, and a Jacksonville team that's hungry to get a win. Trevor Lawrence is hungry to show people that I am a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough to win. It's going to be tough. And we're on the, 10 a.m. start. Obviously, people say we struggle in it. I hate to think that we just struggle at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But maybe we do. But maybe we don't. Maybe we don't.
And also, we've been there all week.
Yeah.
We've been in Florida all week.
No excuses.
No, there's no excuses. There's no anything. You're already late into the season. I think it's week 9 now? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. This is week 9 now. You've had plenty of time in this system with this coach. You have 5 losses. Now it's time to get this season back on track. You just got
salvage
embarrassed.
It.
Yes.
Salvage it.
You just got you just got embarrassed last week, and you come into this week. You need a win, and I'm not trying to look too far ahead, but you also need to be 500 mark, 6-5 going into December, where it really matters.
Yeah, it's gonna need this win. Gonna need this win for sure. I know this is more of like kind of a rant and kind of talking. Hopefully you guys like that more than a game preview. But now let's talk about who do you think are gonna be the offensive and defensive players of the game for the Raiders?
Offensive, I'm gonna go Josh Jacobs. It might be raining tomorrow. I don't know if they're gonna let Carr throw it or what's gonna happen. All I know is that if this line gives Jacobs a chance, Jacobs has been doing really good. He gets back going and has over 100 yards, a couple touchdowns, and leads us hopefully into a victory.
I'm going to go Josh Jacobs also. The weather going to play a factor maybe. Mm-hmm. And I think, they're going to try to get the run going early because we tried to get the pass going early last week.
Yeah.
And it failed. And the weeks prior, when we won, or Texans, we won. Chiefs, we got off to a good start. Broncos got off to a good start because we started out with the run game.
I think
we're going to punch them in the mouth and go with Jacobs. And I think Jacobs can get this thing started early. Who's your defensive player?
Yeah, I'm going to still go Max Crosby. I think, even in that Saints game, even though he was shut out, he was still jumping over people, trying to make something happen. And Max Crosby seems like the only one playing defense at points of this season, and hopefully he gets back on the board, a couple sacks, and really causes some trouble for Trevor Lawrence.
Max Crosby is a bad man.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, bad man. One of the best defensive players in the game, but it's sad that we're picking him every week.
Yeah.
We're picking him every week.
We don't got options
because we don't got options to pick anybody else. Perryman's not playing good.
Yeah.
We like Blake Martinez, but he's not.
I'm a game changer. And we don't want to sound dumb or stupid and come out here and say this is the week Chandler does it. So Chandler Jones.
Yeah, we're not gonna look stupid. We're not trying to look stupid on here. I mean, we do a lot because the Raiders made us look pretty stupid a lot. But you can't go out and say Chandler Jones. We're definitely not gonna say any of the interior guys.
No.
On the line. We go Max Crosby on the line. Linebackers haven't played good. Corners did not play good last so many weeks. Nate Hobbs ain't playing, or else maybe we go with Nate Hobbs a couple times.
Yeah.
But, man, it's sad that we have to say Max Crosby every week because that means that we don't have any X factor besides him on the defensive side of the ball, and that's why we're getting dominated.
Yeah. We seriously thought bringing in Chandler Jones, Abram contract year. I know Hobbs is hurt right now, but Hobbs, looking better and better every week, and Averett getting a chance to come over, Rock getting a chance to come over, and Merrick, and I can just keep on going on and on. We seriously thought that, hey, we're gonna be a good defense, and it just turns out that we just have Max Crosby and that's it. And at times pairing him in a little bit, in the correct scheme or what that team is doing, maybe Abram just a tiny bit, a little run stuffer, but it just seems like consistently all we have is Max Crosby.
Yeah. All right. 2 keys of the game each, Nick. What do you got?
I'm always go time of possession. You lost time of possession against the Saints. Defense was out there more than the offense. Offense didn't score at all. Defense got tired. Offense needs to go out there and control the ball. Hopefully Josh Jacobs has a good game, runs, keeps the clock going, and we come out with a victory.
Get past the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
In the first possession we get. That's my thing.
First play. Hopefully first play.
First possession, first play. Get past the 50.
Yeah.
Get that monkey off your back. Get past the 50. And, I feel like it might be contagious if we don't get past the 50 in the first drive. I feel like it can get contagious real quick because it got contagious real quick in the Saints game. And obviously, it was bad. That Saints game, it just didn't get past the 50, didn't get past 50 again, and it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So get past the 50 early in this game.
Yeah, and the last one for me, it's really not a key or whatever, but it's everybody bounce back, play good. We need this one. You spent all week in Florida, I think, and adjusting to that time, and you need this one. You need this one against a struggle. I know we're struggling, but you need this one against a struggling Jacksonville team. Like I just said, you got embarrassed. No one played good. Starts with our quarterback, DC, bounce back. Devontae bounce back. Everybody just bounce back. Let's have a really good day, and hopefully this is one of our best games of the year.
I'm with you. Not so much key the game, but just come out with some energy.
Urgency.
Come out with some heart. Come out with a fire lit inside you guys. Just go get that win.
Yeah.
Go get that win. And, you get that win. No one's going to be totally sold or anything, but just stack them.
Yeah.
Start stacking them and then
just build confidence.
Build confidence, and we'll get hope. At least try to put yourself in a position where you can make that tournament.
Yeah.
Try to at least put yourself in a position, because if you guys lose this game, if the Raiders lose this game, it's done, Nick.
Yeah.
It's done.
Personally, I think
it's done.
I think so,
because we face better teams than the Jaguars moving forward, and gotta win or else we're done. I think this is very simple.
And this is sad. We spent from start of free agency when we got Devontae to a couple days before the Charger game. We were pumped. We were excited. We had we were going to LA the first game. Or hey, we got the Charger game. And we're gonna mess them up and win. That didn't happen. We're pumped up for week 2. Hey, we're actually gonna go to Vegas at that game. And that happened, and it just seems like it's downhill from there. And I love my Raiders. I'm always excited to watch them, but from being excited, now you're like nervous and just like, I hope we win tomorrow and tomorrow. And it just
instead of being pumped up.
Yeah, and it just sucks because you expect, in years past you expect to kind of lose. We didn't have the teams, we didn't have anything. And you look at this roster and it's just we're good, especially on the offensive ball. We're star-studded, and it just sucks that you can't put it together.
Yeah, like Nick said, we love our Raiders. We're talking like this right now, but in our hearts, we're thinking we can make a run and we can go to the playoffs. You think that, right?
I seriously think we win. We win tomorrow. We're winning.
I seriously think we can win tomorrow, make a run, and make the playoffs. But that's deep down in our heart. But just the outer part of us is saying, let's get to 5-5, and let's just show me, Raiders, show me that I can have confidence in you guys. So we'll see what happens. We're not going to do any score predictions today. We're not going to do them right now. Let's just hopefully the Raiders get the W. We come here on post game, say how they got better, and hopefully we just stack them and stack them and stack them.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys after. Hopefully it's a positive show, a good show, and we can be moving in the right direction. Either way, people are going to be talking crap whether we win or lose.
Yeah.
You guys beat the Jaguars if we won. If we lose, you guys lost to the Jaguars. You guys are done. So let's win. Let's make them say we beat the Jaguars. Who cares? The Jaguars, the NFL, every team's good. Let's get a win. Let's start stacking them. Let's push for them, Raider Nation. Let's try to turn this thing around.
It all starts tomorrow, and hopefully everybody bounce back and get this thing straight away.
We'll see you guys for the post game. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.